easy for me in that regard. Like I've never had a doubt in my mind that this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
You touched a little bit there on the cost though, that people don't see, the sacrifice,
Mm.
families, relationships, all these other things. Part of the reason I started the show actually was to shed more of a light on the cost of like being a CEO, because it's very glamorized. Everyone wants to do it. But then I think providing balance allows people to understand if it's actually the right choice for them, away from the accolades and the followers and the clapping. Like, is this really the right choice for you? So in your experience, what has been the material cost of your journey?
I think something I've been really struggling with is, first of all, with regard to business, I'm such a creative at heart that business-wise, I'm really trying to work on recognizing like this has gotten so big, I need to be in these meetings. I need to be interacting with people on the business end of things. And like my boyfriend always jokes, he's like, you're 99.9% creative all times. Like you need to dial it at least 10% to business, Alex. And I'm like, I don't need to answer the email. I'm just going to sit in the edit room and make the episode. So I think it's been a little bit of a challenge, like hiring people, personalities coming in, figuring out how to balance being the talent, the executive producer, and the CEO and the owner of a company is like, like it's a little, it almost like contradicts itself. Like things that I should be doing as the talent, the CEO shouldn't be doing. Like the conversations I'm having as the talent, I shouldn't be having, but I'm the CEO. So I'm like, I have to fire you. And then it's like, well, are you going to go tweet about me? You know, it's like so strange where most companies like that person wouldn't be a public facing person. So like, and then my people pleasing tendencies, I've kept employees longer because I'm like, I can't fire this person even though they're not doing their job, because like I don't want them to go online and say I'm a bitch. And then my therapist is like, Alex, sweetie, if you're paying someone and they're not doing their job, you have to fire them. But I'm like, so it's like I've struggled a lot with like who I'm having around me. Then on the personal side of things, I don't want to say the word exploiting, but I'm just going to say it and then I'm going to take it right back. But like exploiting my life for 4 years, there is a cost of like, I don't expect a lot of people to relate to it. It's really weird that I've talked about my sex life and my breakups and my heartbreak and friend breakups and family issues and trauma and all the things you can possibly imagine. Like that's not normal to be that open about it on the internet. So naturally, I think there's like a what's next, like always trying to one up yourself. And that can be really detrimental. And I think when I look back at the early days of Call Her Daddy, like I'm embarrassed by some of the things that I said. Not that I'm embarrassed by the product. I think it was great. But there's some things that I was like, why did I say that on the internet? Like that was mean or that was, but it was all like, I don't think people understand, like we were being rewarded by how much crazier it was. Every week it was like, if you get crazier, the views go up, the clicks keep coming. So it was like this really diabolical feeling in your head where it's like, morally, I don't know if I should be saying this, but it just keeps getting bigger the more that we keep saying wild shit. And I think in the beginning we had a handle on it. And then when we hit like episodes 50, 60, it was like throwing shit at the wall because people just wanted to see us like dance. It was like, do something crazy again this week. And that's why I have some empathy for creators that have taken it too far, where you see that line is like, they push it. Everyone loves right when you're teetering the line. They're like, oh yeah. The minute you cross the line, even though they've been encouraging you to go farther, and you fall off, what's wrong with you? You're disgusting. Like that's awful. You're a bad person. So it's like, it's a very, very fucked up industry to be a part of, because like you're rewarded for the chaos, but if it's too chaos, then you're out.
Has it ever crossed your mind, being someone who publishes a lot of content and does it frequently at a certain cadence, you have a community that are expecting it from you, that you probably can't stop to some degree, or the pressure that exists to keep you going, keep publishing, keep going, keep going, means that there is, in some respects, you could say, a bit of a lack of freedom. Like, you couldn't take 6 months off, right?
I can't even take 2 weeks off. That has crossed my mind. There's some days where like the unforgivingness of this industry gets a little, it freaks me out a little bit, because I've found myself, like I just said, being like, wait, why did I do that? Because I'm so deep in it and I'm so content focused that I'm pulling myself out. I'm like the Alex with her family and her partner and her real life. Like, that's not who I am. I think, I actually think that's why I kind of pivoted my show for a minute to interviews. I needed like a break, because I was like, first of all, we don't need to keep hearing me talking. Like, let's give me a break. Like, you're all sick of me. I wanted to just start to talk to other people for a second, because doing these solo episodes every single week, I needed something new and unique to say. And that can cause you to lose your fucking mind. Like, I don't think people understand, like, an hour of content. I was talking to my boyfriend about this. He's like, I make 1.5 hour movies that we work on for 9 months. Like, every week you have an hour to fill. And if it's just you talking, it's like almost insane. Like, you're going to start doing things. You're going to start putting yourself in situations to get content, to talk about things. And I started to be like, this is unhealthy. There's other ways to entertain people and other ways to feel creatively stimulated. And that's when I just started to talk to other people. And then interviewing, I think, gave me like a real sense of fulfillment, because it goes back to my childhood. Like, I love connecting with people. I love what we're doing right now. This is like my jam. This is like, let's go for 5 hours. Every time I do a podcast, people are like, that was the longest podcast we've ever done. I'm like, I can't stop talking, because I love connecting with people. I love discussing topics. And right now that's what I'm doing on my show. And again, like I said, who knows, maybe it will change in a year, but yeah, it's a weird feeling to be like, where is the end mark? I don't think there is an end mark for me, because maybe it will look different. But aside from all of like the drama of what we're talking about, it goes back to me being like, I love this shit. And so are there boundaries I can set with myself in order to make it healthier? Just like any person with any